What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. So look, y'all, I'm back to my regular videos, but I really wanted to talk about something that I saw a rapper, Boosie, right? I saw Boosie talking about this phenomenon that occurred amongst a lot of young street dudes when they first jumped off the porch and started selling weight or selling narcotics, street pharmaceuticals. When they first got into that business, and he was saying that a lot of them had their first sexual experience with a fiend, somebody that they were serving. They had their first sexual experience with a client, a crackhead, fam. Like, y'all. And I thought of it first, I remember older dudes, like in their 40s, talking about, like, joking about, not nobody close to me, but I would hear this being a thing amongst dudes that used to sell weight, that they, some of them messed around and got some fellatio from a crackhead before, right? And I'm sorry, y'all, you know how down bad you gotta be to be trying to get head or trying to have any sexual experience with a crackhead, with a fiend. I don't give a fuck how early she is in her crackhead stage, how early she is in her addiction. I don't care. Because if she's giving it to you in exchange for drugs, do you know what other young, dirty, smelly, stinking ass dude she gave her body to? Right? Like, I'm one of them dudes where I'm scared of diseases, fam. Like, I'm scared of, like, all that type of stuff. Like, I don't, like, a lot of these dudes be out here doing whatever with whoever, right? And again, messing around, having sex, or doing anything sexual with a fiend. A fiend is doing whatever to get some drugs, right? And I'm like, man, what? You gotta be down bad. You know how hypersexual you gotta be to be chasing that type of interaction with a crackhead or with somebody that's addicted? I don't care that all crackheads don't look burnt up. I don't care that all crackheads don't all look the same. Some of them look like every working class people. If she's giving you sex in exchange for drugs, you're not the only one she's doing that with. You know how many dusty, stinking ass, smelly dudes who don't go to the doctor, dudes who like that is out here. Yes, she did. How many dudes like that are selling narcotics? And she probably didn't mess with them in exchange for drugs. So now you don't know what she did, what she got. You running up in there, trying to mess with her. Like, I'm like, damn, bro. That's when it's like, and look, I have had my own battles with lust, right? Something I'm trying to get in order. Lust with pretty women and stuff like that and all of that. You know? So I'm not like perfect. I'm not an asexual being. I'm not a person that's just super disciplined all the way around in, the sexual area. So I'm not going to act like I'm just holier than thou and I'm living like a monk or anything like that, right? But I would never in my life, my natural born life, mess with a fiend, a crackhead, none of that shit. I'm never doing nothing like that, bro. It is not that serious, fam. But again, hypersexuality is something it ran rampant through our hoods, right? Like, even like, speaking as a young dude, you know how many older dudes would tell their little brothers or they nephews and stuff they better be hitting something. They better be having sex when they 12 and 13 and shit like that, right? And some of them dudes chasing a sexual high, I guess, to feel like a man or for validation from older dudes. Hey, the girls that's their age probably not doing anything sexually. So if they move in some weight and they selling drugs, it's dudes that be selling drugs at 13, 12, 13, 14 years old. If they ain't doing nothing with young girls, they'll do something with a fiend. Especially if ain't nobody gonna know about it. And that's crazy to me, bro. That shit is like, what? And then it's dudes messing with the ones that's burnt up. Oh, smelly, nasty, stank breath. I mean, rotten tooth ass. Like, you want to mess with something like that? That's what you want to do? Probably smell like a dead carcass in her pants. And you want to mess with that? You want to have an experience with that for the sake of getting your rocks off? Yeah, brother, we got to talk about what you got going on with you. That's some other shit, especially when you like, oh, you 17, 18. I was 16. I wasn't doing, bro. I never even like messing with girls that was promiscuous like that. Girls that was just like running around and letting everybody touch them. Girls that was like what we call runners or bops or bust downs back in the day, right? Thoughts for you know, I guess for newer age colloquialisms, right? I never like messing with girls like that. I never dealt with them. Because I always wondered, like, I always was scared of getting something, right? Or like, yeah, I just never know. I like messing with girls that was out the way, low key, and just wanted to mess with me like that, or you know what I'm saying, or like me in that manner. I didn't chase messing with girls who everybody and anybody could touch. That was never my thing. I remember this one time, y'all. We was like 14 at the time. My homie, it's my man's 100 grand. And he had started. My homie was, in the streets at this time. He's changed his life for the better. You would never know he was in the streets at all, none whatsoever, right? But I remember this one time we was like 13, 14, and he had like, being in the streets, you start being around a lot of stuff that you ain't supposed to be around. And then it's girls that are young, it's sad, that are very promiscuous. Some of them they went through a lot of sexual trauma, etc. And so this girl, she was, she was out there in that way. And one of his cousins was gonna call her over so she could come give everybody oral, you know what, right? And my homie say, Malcolm, this girl finna come over here. You wanna get you some head? And he asked the stuff like, he asked it as if casually, as if he asked, did I want to go to the store to go get some candy or chips or something? And I'm like, nah, I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. I have no interest. If she's willing to touch y'all, not my homie, but his cousins and them, dirty, dusty. I mean, mothers that I know don't shower for days. Mothers I know that go hoop and just go sit down and go lay in a room. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like dudes that I know might be a little funky. Like might got some streaks in their drawers, possibly. You feel me? You think I want to mess with a girl that's gonna mess with that? Like, hell no. But there were men to to speak on what Boosie was saying that was messing with fiends. I remember that scene in Boys in the Hood. What's my man's name? He was basically saying, I don't be messing with no fiend, but I do let him suck my you know what though. And what's called said, fool, you can catch something from letting them do that. He said, you can really catch that stuff from letting them suck on your, you know what? Like, there's a real, you know what I'm saying? So John Singleton had that put into the movie because that was really a thing that some street dudes was doing, messing with the fiends and girls that they were serving. You know, like if they was, I guess, once upon a time pretty, or even if they wasn't pretty, it's just an easy way for, I guess, easy way to. And first of all, to even try to, that's vile thinking, right? Like, I have to coerce a woman or I have to hang something over her head in order for me to get sex from her. And then you get it from a woman who is all in addiction, probably not the cleanest, not healthy. Like, what the fuck is going on in your psyche that you think this is all right, or that you even have a desire to try to pursue something like this, right? Like, hey, this girl probably didn't shot all type of needles in her, maybe, like she didn't been probably messing with this deal, this dude that's selling, that dude over there that's selling. She probably didn't mess with all y'all, all of them. You like, I want to get it too. It's my turn. Like, I ain't, no, bro. Like, and again, some of them dudes is messing with the burn up ones. That smell, that stink, right? Bruh smell like a damn. Bruh smell like a grown up Depends diaper. You feel me? Like, what is we doing? So when Boosie said that, I said, that is a damn horror story. Brothers out here wilding like that, you know how high you have to be in your hypersexuality to be like, I wanna get this fiend. I'm finna let her freak me. That's crazy as hell. But it happens. I remember, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, with Lamar Odom, right? Y'all know Lamar was doing crack, he was on crack, as Stephen A. Smith would say. When Lamar Odom was doing crack and all type of other drugs, he was in brothels and all of that, right? You can get sex from women and all that. But I remember, and I correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, y'all can say in the comment section I'm wrong. But I believe when Lamar Odom was in high school, the reason why he had to go to Rhode Island, I don't think it was because scholastically he didn't qualify. Lamar was one of the top basketball players in the United States of America, possibly the top. Rhode Island is a mid-major school. I believe he went there because in high school, when he was like 18 or something, he tried to solicit a prostitute for sex. I said, damn, an 18-year-old young man who has the world in the palm of his hands, right? He, again, is on the road to riches. He is a prominent basketball player. Most girls in high school like athletes anyway, even if they ain't going to the NBA, right? But it's a dude that is an NBA prospect. He's at the top basketball camps. He's getting preferential treatment from all of these different shoe companies and all of that. And he got all the acclaim, all the allure, all the fame and notoriety. And you want to go mess with a prostitute versus the girl in your high school, the cheerleader on the team, the girl in algebra class, the girl in geometry, the girl in English class, or, the girl in your science class, your biology class. You want to mess, or chemistry class, you want to mess with a prostitute? You got to be very hypersexual to do that. Just think in your head, I want to have sex with a woman who do this for a living. Not with a girl that's my age, who, like, is not out here, soliciting men for sex. You wanted a girl whose job is to solicit men for sex. All type of nasty, filthy, stinking ass, sweaty ass, nasty ass dudes. You wanted to have sex with that type of woman to get your rocks off. I said, wow. Now, if this story is incorrect, I will come in the comments and apologize, right? Because Lamar I believe Lamar was like 18 when this happened. Maybe fresh out of high school, about to get out of high school, about to go to college. And he got found, I think it got found out. I don't know if he got locked up for it or what, but he got found out. And it got him into a trouble where he couldn't go to the top colleges. If this story is wrong, again, I will put in the comment section, this story is wrong. There's no real truth to this. I heard this somewhere, whatever. But if it is true, that is wild. And there's talks about the hypersexuality that can be in us young men. That's crazy, though.